Hello, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Melissa with 1S, but you can call me Mel, and today we're going to be doing an emergency repot on my mature Monstera or my large form Monstera because it is pushing out new growth and it is becoming smaller and smaller with less fenestration, so I definitely need to repot it so that I don't affect its growth moving forward. The roots are coming out from the bottom, so I definitely need to do this, and I definitely cannot postpone this or delay this any further. So if you want to stick around and watch that, definitely keep watching, give it a thumbs up if you do like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go repot that Monstera. I will be taking you through the whole process, and then at the end I will also show you an update about 10 days after I repotted the plant. I will be doing a voiceover for some parts of this video because, to be honest, I zoned out when I was doing this because I was just nervous and worried about repotting this plant, especially because it's a plant that I just love so much and it brings me so much joy that I was just hoping I was making the best decision by repotting it while it was unfurling a new leaf. So, what I need from you, oh my god, I'm stressing. Okay, I need like you to support her on that side. Okay, I'm gonna just take some of this out. Just take some of it out. I honestly was starting to sweat during this process. It was getting hot in that room. If I lose her, I'm quitting. Quitting the houseplant shenanigans. So I probably want to tip. This was absolutely no surprise, but this is what I saw at the bottom of the pot. This is when I realized that I had to find a way to unstick the roots from the bottom of the grow pot because I did not want to cut them or remove them from the plant. So I had to think fast, and I decided to use some water that I had in a container, and I wet my fingers and just massaged the roots off of the pot, and it really did work, and I was so happy about this because I really didn't want to cut them off. Next, I wanted to provide a little bit of wiggle room inside of the pot. So what I decided to do was squeeze the pot so that the roots can start to unstick from the inside, because again, the last thing I wanted to do was disturb the roots, and I felt like this was going to be an easier way for me to potentially pull out the plant as is without having to dig into the roots. Here's when I first attempt to shake the plant out of the grow pot. And of course I was having a little bit of a hard time doing this. That was my shocked face because I managed to unstick all the roots from the bottom without breaking any, and now I'm just pushing the plant up from the bottom of the pot so that's not sticking. Just knock it out. Okay, I think I got it. Oh yeah, baby, okay. Okay, can you now help me? So I need you to hold it at the bottom here, the black, and then I need to hold her. Okay, well, let's go. Oh my gosh. Here are a couple of close-ups of the roots, and oh my Lanta, it is very healthy, but definitely needs soil. That's all it is, it's root. Can you grab me the lid that's behind you? Now I will be getting ready to repot the plant. Now what I decided to do, based on the size of the root ball, I decided to just lift the plant higher in the same grow pot, because It definitely can be in the same size, but I just wasn't using the whole pot in the first place. So now I'm just going to lift it higher, provide it more soil, and it will be very happy with the extra room at the bottom. Here I'm using some chunky medium to provide a layer at the bottom to help with drainage. So there is orchid bark, coarse perlite, and charcoal. This will help with drainage, and then also it will help so that the soil doesn't fall out from the drainage holes at the bottom.
That's good enough. And then, can you pass me that mug?
So like I said earlier, I am going to just lift the plant higher in the pot. So I'm going to provide a decent amount of soil at the bottom. The soil that I'm using is just regular potting mix, and then I incorporate perlite, orchid bark, and like I said, a bit of charcoal as well. The plant loves it, and I have not had issues with the root rot.
Just a little bit at the bottom. Well, not a little bit, a lot. Just gonna get. It's probably enough. I don't want to disturb the roots. And then I'll just top her up at the bottom. Okay, so now hooks the top. Enough space at the top.
Here I am equally distributing the soil around the pot and on top, just because this time I want to provide a little bit of a cushion between the roots and the grow pot. I also think this was the perfect height because it still provides me a little bit of space at the top.
Because now probably the soil at the bottom is now going to shrink a bit.
At this point, I am definitely less stressed, and I'm just more happy that I decided to do this, and I was just feeling relieved that I finally got this done, and I'm just hoping that the Monstera is happy and that the new growth is even happier when it comes out and starts unfurling. I also start tapping the sides of the pot because I'm trying to bring down as much soil as I can on the sides. So I'm just tapping it, moving it around to make sure that there is no air holes before I start watering, and just making sure that the soil is situated before I start watering. I also realized that I still needed to put the stake into the pot. Now this is just a bamboo stick that I've been using. It hasn't rotted and I've been using it for a while. So I just placed it back in and it slid in nicely. There was no issues there. Sometimes you can't do this depending on the roots. But I just put it back in, and now I'm just going to tie the Monstera to the pole. That way it can be supported.
stick a little excited. So now I'm gonna water it. Okay, it's draining nicely.
Now that I have watered the plant once, the soil has settled. So now I can go again and add a layer of soil at the top just to top it all off, and also because I'm still waiting for the water to drain from the bottom.
Still waiting for it to cool down. So satisfying. Yeah, we got some water. Okay, we're done. We're done. The water's coming down.
So this is the final result now that the plant is all potted up. She looks gorgeous, and the next clip I'm going to show you an update about a week and a half later.
Okay, so it's been over a week since I repotted this plant, and look at her. This leaf is actually bigger than the recent 2 leaves, and it's still soft. It's not hard yet, or it hasn't hardened yet. So I am so excited to see how big it gets. She looks so healthy, and definitely super glad that I repotted it while this leaf was growing, because I think it helps that it now has more space, and I think it's just gonna love it so that it can continue to grow bigger and bigger. And yeah, I'm just like, it's just so rewarding to make sure that I did make the right decision, and she is loving it. Look at that leaf, beautiful.
It is now time for the plant lover shout out. The plant lover for this video is Bontai e Salute. I apologize if I pronounced it wrong. They are from Italy. They love all plants. Their house and their garden are like jungles, and they love taking care of them and seeing them grow. If you want a chance at becoming the plant lover shout out in my next video, leave a submission down below and comment where you are living in the world and what is your favorite part of your plant parent journey.